Leaders from Gulf of Guinea neighbor countries Benin, Ghana, Ivory Coast and Togo met Thursday in Accra. Their first major talks, including EU representatives, come at a time when the death toll of victims of the Islamic State allied and Al-Qaeda militants in the Sahel keeps rising. The nations which are part of the 2017 Accra initiative seek to better confront the increased risks from terrorist organizations.
This conference is timely. It is timely because it affords us the rare opportunity to reflect on measures and on strategies deployed thus far towards addressing the threat of terrorism and violent extremism.
According to Albert Kandapa, almost half of attacks recorded in Africa in the fourth quarter of 2022 were in the west of the continent. European forces and peacekeeping missions, including Ivorian or Egyptian soldiers, operated in Mali for years. However, many contingents are set to pull out of the country.
Feared by many, the Gule Wamkulu dancers of Zimbabwe are often described as a secretive and ritualistic society. The negative image goes hand in hand with a reputation for violence, something that the organizer of the first Gule Wamkulu festival in Harare wants to change. We are celebrating our ancestors who brought the culture from Malawi, but have since passed on.
Look at my age, I'm young.
Look at my age, I'm young. What pains me is that people see our culture as belonging to people who can't think and are not educated.
Second generation for my parents
The society's reputation has been tarnished in Zimbabwe due to the proliferation of copycat groups that commit crimes such as extortion, theft, sexual abuse and assault. These people are evil. They move around with weapons and are violent criminals. If they meet someone they don't like, they sometimes attack them. The leader of the Gule Wamkulu organization claims it is necessary to distinguish between the genuine practitioners and copycat dancers.
The appearance of Gule Wamkulu and sometimes the behavior of the Nyao dancers are the ones that make people assume and think that they may be violent or they've got other things attached to it. Some even attach Gule Wamkulu with witchcraft, which is not it. That's not it. But of course, people from Gule Wamkulu Nyao dance know a lot of medicine, just like the others.
The origins of this dance can be traced back to the 17th century and the Chewa people, spanning the countries of Malawi, Mozambique and Zambia in southern Africa.
South African police said on Thursday they had arrested a suspected gang boss whom Israel has sought for years for alleged conspiracy to commit murder and attempted murder. The fugitive allegedly carried out several car bombings, seriously injuring 8 people. He was apprehended together with 7 others at a house in Bryanston, an affluent northern suburb of Johannesburg. The unnamed 46-year-old Israeli is linked to a major criminal organization called Abigail. According to the police statement, the notorious gang is involved in criminal activities, including drug trafficking. 12 firearms were seized, along with $40,000 in cash and 3 motorcycles that were suspected to have been stolen. The second housing tragedy in 3 days. On the outskirts of Kenya's capital, a multi-storey building under construction collapsed on a neighbouring home, killing at least 2 people on Thursday, authorities said. Housing is in high demand and unscrupulous developers often bypass regulations. This man's parents didn't make it out alive. Mom and Dad were inside the house when the building started collapsing, then collapsed on them. So when the ambulance came to rescue them, they found them already dead. And the construction was not fully completed. 3 people were rescued alive from their home next to the collapsed building located in the Ruaka suburb. Construction authorities have warned of unsafe buildings coming up in the city and its outskirts. Residents feel helpless.
This is not the first story or other instance. In the course of this 1 week, we have had 2 buildings that have collapsed. We have lost innocent lives. Last month, we had a woman and her children that were buried innocent. They were also the same case. They were not in the building, but a building near their house collapsed, and the mother and the children just died like that. So we're asking, this is the work of the county government. It's not even the national government. The approvals, the drawings and everything is the work of the county government.
After 8 buildings collapsed in Kenya in 2015, the presidency ordered an audit to check if the country's buildings were up to code. The National Construction Authority found that 58% of the buildings in Nairobi were unfit for habitation.
A Zimbabwean court has released on bail 14 opposition activists arrested after clashes with ruling party members at a funeral for an opposition supporter who is thought to have been murdered. The members of the main opposition Citizens Coalition for Change were arrested along with 2 members of parliament in June.
And at Shkurubi right now we are just pushing and praying that our colleagues will be released. Right now there is Honorable Job Sikhala, and we pray that he will be released very soon.
Their release came just days after a mission from the Commonwealth made a visit to Harare.
Justice denied. It's not justice delayed. It's justice denied.
We're not stopping because that is the struggle. And where we're heading towards elections, we need to protect our vote as champions. We're prepared for anything. We're prepared to defend our vote. The opposition has decried rising violence, persecution and arbitrary arrests as the country prepares to hold a general election in 2023.